my wife that for her birthday I would throw a wonderful party with 300 of our closest friends. So allow me to start by saying happy birthday to my wife of 40 plus years. Actually, I have to tell you, I had planned for flowers to be delivered that I would then redeliver, but then I thought it would be a little bit too much, and I did not do that. So I'll do the flower delivery privately. But there's one more birthday I'd like to share. George Paleokrasas, thank you for being with us, and George, happy birthday. Also, I'd like to thank the Onassis Foundation, the Onassis Group, for sponsoring tonight's dinner. Dear friends, it's been the end of a wonderful day. I think we had an amazing conference today. We're celebrating the 25th anniversary. 25 years is a long time. And we are delighted, Olga and I, to continue doing this with undiminished zeal and fervor and passion. So thank you to everybody. For this special night, I thought we needed a very special person to be the Master of Ceremonies. And there is nobody else better than that than Nicole Petallides. You all know Nicole. She is the best known journalist, financial journalist on Wall Street. She has a long and very distinguished career, having interviewed the CEOs around the world of major corporations and organizations. Nicole is known for her career, for starting actually Fox Business News, and then you have seen her all over Bloomberg, CNBC, Dow Jones, and so on. Currently, she is hosting the anchor at the Schwab network, and she's hosting a show at the New York Stock Exchange, where we will be tomorrow. So with this, we will turn the floor over to Nicole. I'm sure you will have a better time with her managing the event than me and Olga. Maybe, definitely me, I don't know about Olga. So thank you again to everybody for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Nicholas and Olga. Thank you, everybody. Wonderful to see all of you. Thank you for being here. And it's my understanding, and your warm welcome, I do appreciate it. Ladies, gentlemen, distinguished guests, I have to tell you, I heard today was incredible. Sold out, best ever Capital Link Forum. And there was a lot, people were turned away. You made it 25 years. This was a huge milestone. So a round of applause for Nicholas Bordenozis, Olga Bordenozis, all the supporters, the sponsors. This is all in conjunction with the New York Stock Exchange, the Athens Stock Exchange, investment banks, and so on. And so it is a very special evening. I'm glad you're here. By the way, he mentioned tomorrow at the New York Stock Exchange, it is Greek Day. So you can look at 4 o'clock on CNBC and you'll see the Greek flags, and you will see Mr. Nicholas Tsakos of Tsakos Energy Navigation, and also of the Athens Exchange. You will see the president there, Yanos Kontopoulos will be there ringing the bell. So how about that? How about a round of applause for Greek Day at the New York Stock Exchange tomorrow? It's 25 years for Capital Link and 19 years for them to be ringing the bell. And I have one more piece of celebratory news. And this one I think is going to be near and dear to all your hearts, and that is the investment grade rating of Greece. Since the financial crisis, since the draconian measures were taken, Greece obviously was under scrutiny, but now it has been raised to investment grade by Standard & Poor's since 2010. And I know you all like that. And that is because of this type of forum. This is the longest running forum outside of Greece, for Greece, to invest in Greece and believe in the businesses there and prosper. And of course, I always have to mention my beautiful island of Cyprus, where business is also flourishing. So without further ado, we will begin our program, and our first speaker tonight does not need an introduction. It's Mr. John Katsimatidis, CEO, of course, of Red Apple Group, and Kostis should have been mayor of New York City, right? I know. How about his new book? His new book is out there. How far do you want to go? And of course, the owner of WABC Radio, #1, John Katsimatidis, everybody.
Thank you, Nicole, and thank you all for being here in New York today. And the 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂💂, family, what you have done for Greece financially is a phenomenal. Bringing investments to Greece the way you have brought them over the last 25 years, putting new confidence into our homeland. See, I was born in Greece, a little small island of Nissidos, so I could say our homeland. And I will tell you how Greek I am. Whenever I land in Greece and I'm in the car on the way to a hotel or whatever, and they turn on the Greek music, 𝒄𝒄𝒄𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈. I really, it must be the Greek blood. I wrote this book and you know who's buying it? Grandfathers, grandmothers, fathers, and they read it, they give it to their kids to say, look, he's an immigrant. If he can do it, you can do it too. And that's the key thing. And the joke I tell is, you read the book once, you're gonna make $1 billion. You read it twice, you make $2 billion. And look, there's so many successful Greek business people in this room. I'm proud to meet all of you. I am so happy that I don't do politics in Greece, but I am so happy that Greece is doing so well. To give it an investment grade credit, where a few years ago, nobody would buy anything. But together with our new prime minister there, and he's done a great job, and the fact that the 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Greece has come a long way. Now, I am also glad that last week they had a good meeting with Turkey, or Turkey, whatever, how they call it now, they've changed the name. And Mitsotakis, Erdogan. Why? I don't want to worry about people invading Nissidos. You know, then we're going to sell Phil Christopher to Washington to ask for aid for Nissidos. You have to have a few laughs, because without laughs, we don't have anything. I want to also commend, I'm vice chairman of the Archdiocese, and our Archbishop, Alpidophoros, loves Greece too, because he's there very often. And I want to commend the fact of the friendship between the Greek government and the Archdiocese of America, and all the help that Greece gives to the Archdiocese. And don't forget, we are your arm in America. And His Eminence is doing a terrific job keeping everything together. Well, I don't want to keep you long. I'm just here to say hello. I'm happy to be able to see all my old friends, and I hope I see you in Athens soon. Thank you very much. Ευχαριστώ.
Another round of applause for 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈, who made it on his own. He went to Brooklyn Tech High School. I know that because I've anchored the Greek Parade 9 years on Fifth Avenue on television, thanks to John who put that together for Fox News and then WABC Radio. So we'll continue our program. This is the 2023 Capital Link Hellenic Leadership Award Dinner. Our recipient, who will speak later this evening, well-deserving, Mr. Nikos Stathopoulos of BC Partners. It's nice to meet you. A round of applause for our honoree this evening for his dedication and real growth that he has helped to provide and stability for Greece. Our next guest, Her Excellency, newly appointed ambassador, is with us tonight. And that is, here she is, Her Excellency Ekaterini Nassika is with us this evening. Welcome. It's so nice to meet you.
So, thank you, Olga, and happy birthday to those who are celebrating tonight. What a party. And Nikos Stathopoulos, what a special evening, not only for you, but also for me, for all of us, for Greece. Congratulations, Axios. To the Bornozis family, you're celebrating 25 years. Many happy returns. It's gonna be very good for all of us. So it's my second time in the United States. I started my career in Washington, D.C., and I come back now as ambassador, and at least I find it very, very moving. And I will try to give my best. So it is my distinct honor to join you this evening, and I'm so glad that my first opportunity to address all of you in New York as ambassador of Greece to the United States is on the occasion of the 25th Annual Capital Link Investing Greece Forum. The longest running investment forum about Greece abroad, Capital Link, is by now an institution. One that helps enhance the already strong bonds of friendship and cooperation between Greece and the United States. My heartfelt congratulations to the organizers, Nicole and Olga, who for a quarter of a century have showcased the developments of the Greek economy to stimulate investment interest in Greece. We are happy and honored that members of the Greek government with important portfolios were with us here in New York today. And it would be also, for me, redundant to dwell on Greece, on Greek economy, because they've spoken enough today. But just very briefly, let me mention that over this past year, Greece's economic outlook has improved significantly, with real GDP surpassing the pre-pandemic levels. Pursuant to its already strong recovery over the previous 2 years, Greece's economic activity has remained robust throughout 2023 and is anticipated to continue in 2024 at a growth rate that is among the highest in developed countries, comparatively speaking, always. Robust development and investment require political, economic, and social stability. As a confident Western democracy, a member of EU and NATO, and a reliable ally, Greece contributes to peace and prosperity in the Eastern Mediterranean, the Balkans, and beyond. My government, the vast majority of the Greek people and of Greek political parties support and are committed to promoting the full integration of all our neighbors to the north and east into Euro-Atlantic structures. This is a process based on the principles of democracy, cooperation and dialogue, free markets, human rights, and international law. I'm particularly happy that relations between Greece and the US are at their best. Historically, we have stood side by side, always on the right side of history, during times of peace as well as during difficult times. We share common values, and the Greek-American community has been an indispensable link between our two nations. Our relations with the US are not based on a transactional give-and-take basis. They are founded on a common civic foundation based on democracy, freedom, rule of law, and the respect and upholding of human rights. Relations that are based on trust, they are consistent, they are durable. The deepening of the strategic partnership between Greece and the US, as evidenced by the annual US-Greece Strategic Dialogue, has produced ripple effects, generating significant interest for new investments in Greece. The upcoming 5th rounds of US strategic dialogue, scheduled to take place in Washington, D.C. in early 2024, will further expand our cooperation in trade, energy, and technology. Greece was one of the first countries that believed in and built on the possibilities and opportunities created not only due to geographical advantages, but more importantly, due to needs and determination. This led to the formation of dynamic relationships that inspired plans that lead entire regions to new ways of connectivity. International developments made it possible to bring our broader region, the Eastern Mediterranean, to the forefront. The Mediterranean has an opportunity to rebalance its focus towards renewable and decarbonized energy. We seized the opportunity and conceived a plan to accommodate the establishment of corridors of peace and stability, engaging countries in triangular schemes, tripartite schemes, of dialogue and activity in support of common goals. In short, we have created opportunities which can be used by countries, even those in deep crisis now, and which can become a stepping stone towards economic development and stabilization in the aftermath of the crisis. The United States has since embraced this initiative as well, showing its support. As a final note, let me just say that conferences such as this one are an opportunity to reflect upon the potential of countries like Greece and their relationship with the United States. But most importantly, they are an opportunity to take action. I believe that the sky is the limit. So I thank you very much tonight, and I thank you all for supporting our endeavors and bringing Greece a step and a level further up. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Her Excellency. We have very distinguished guests with us this evening. From the U.S. Department of State, we have Joshua Huck with us. So from U.S. Department of State, Joshua Huck is with us this evening. And Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Southern Europe and the Caucasus, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Joshua Huck.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. It's great to see so many old friends, familiar faces, and particularly great to see so many champions of the U.S.-Greek relationship. That's what makes these kind of nights special. And in particular, I would like to thank Nicholas and Olga for their work pulling together this. Capital Link is a wonderful event every year, but 25, doing it 25 straight is pretty amazing. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd also like to recognize tonight's honoree and my table mate, Mr. Nikos Stathopoulos, for his work at BC Partners. You'll be hearing more from him later, but I'd like to recognize his achievements right now. Nikos. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to all of our distinguished guests coming in from Greece. There's too many VIPs here to go through by name, but in particular, our friends from the government of Greece. We had 4 ministers here earlier today, and we have many senior Greek officials with us. I'd like to take a moment to recognize them and to say thank you for coming. It's an honor to be working with you, hand in hand, government to government, as we improve and we build on this partnership. Thank you. And of course, we've got many distinguished leaders from across all sectors of business here as well. So whether it's finance, banking, energy, infrastructure, tourism, or real estate, we've managed to pull them all together here today. And I think anyone who's been to Greece recently can see the kind of momentum that we have now for investment in Greece. I think the energy there is palpable, and I think it's this kind of forum is exactly what we need to pull together all of those that are interested in making most of the opportunities we have. So I'm delighted as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State covering Greece and the countries of the South Caucasus and the Eastern Mediterranean to have the privilege to get together with all of you and see what we can do to move this relationship forward, particularly in forging ever stronger relations in economic, energy, culture, and people-to-people ties in this critical region. Now, the diplomats on my team and at the State Department are dedicated to advancing our shared policy objectives for the mutual benefit of both of our countries. But we really rely on leaders like you in business, in culture, in the Hellenic diaspora in particular, to move those critical relationships forward. Governments can't do it alone. We need the ties that you all bring, whether it be in business, society, culture, religion, or so on. It's critical, and we are counting on you. Now, I truly believe that the U.S.-Greece relationship is critical to providing peace and prosperity for both of our peoples. As Secretary Blinken said at the 4th U.S.-Greek Strategic Dialogue earlier this year, he said, ours is a relationship that is always evolving. It's innovating, and it's ultimately leading the way to a better future for both of us. Greece is an indispensable partner and plays a critical role in defending NATO's southeastern flank. And we celebrate our shared strong values and strong friendship with Greece, which define our identities as nations and are more important now than ever, now that democracy and our values are under threat in so many parts of the world. Now, our country's shared values underpin what? Our defense relationship, yes, but also accelerating our regional energy collaboration, increasing bilateral investment and trade, and strengthening our educational ties. Our relationship is stronger than ever, and through the work that we're doing as governments, as businesses, as community and diaspora organizations, we're advancing that relationship for future generations. Now, the United States and Greece are standing together to face some of the most difficult challenges that we have in the world today. And for anyone who's watching, we know we have a lot of those. But, for example, one of the most critical challenges we're facing in all of Europe is in Ukraine. We are working together with Greece and our global coalition of more than 50 allies and partners to provide Ukraine the support that it needs to defend its people, its sovereignty, and its independence from Russia's aggression. Now, the United States welcomes Greece's signing on to the G7 statement in support of Ukraine this past July, and in hosting President Zelensky, along with Balkan and EU leaders in Athens this past August. Now, another example of US and Greece coming together, even when things are most difficult, is in the really horrible situation in the Middle East right now, where the United States continues to work side by side with Greece and our other partners and the UN to try to alleviate the suffering of civilians following Hamas's barbaric terrorist attacks. Now, as Secretary Blinken discussed in his late November trip to Israel and the West Bank, the United States supports Israel's right to defend itself commitment with international humanitarian law. We continue our efforts to secure the release of the remaining hostages, to protect civilian life, and to accelerate humanitarian assistance to all civilians living in Gaza. The United States is leading these efforts to help address these urgent humanitarian needs resulting from the crisis, and President Biden's announcement of $100 million in US government assistance is a testament to that fact. But we also appreciate Greece's generosity in this regard, and in their donations to support both the EU and the UN High Commission for Refugees efforts in Gaza to deliver humanitarian aid. It's critical, and Greece deserves credit for that. Now, our governments are working together at the highest levels. At the NATO summit in Brussels, Secretary Blinken met with Foreign Minister 𝑦𝒏𝒄𝒄𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈, and Secretary Blinken highlighted Greece's role as a key NATO ally and thanked Greece for its role in facilitating the evacuation of over 1,300 US citizens and their family members on US government charter flights from Israel earlier this year. Last month, Secretary Blinken also spoke with Prime Minister Hatzidakis, and they both underscored their commitment to deepening the US-Greece bilateral relationship. But I would like to say a little word about the US-Greece economic cooperation as well. Greece has transformed in just a few years from a country suffering from a crisis to now becoming a driver of economic growth. I had the chance to spend quite a bit of time in Greece from 2007 to 2010, and I think anyone who remembers that time and looks at where we are now in Greece, the difference is remarkable. It is amazing, and Greece deserves an enormous amount of credit for what its accomplishment. Today, Greece is a hub of innovation, an example of smart governance, and a promoter of stability in a strategically important region. The United States welcomes the Greek government's economic reforms to cut red tape, boost innovation, and support entrepreneurship. As Secretary Blinken said, it's the creativity and ingenuity and the dynamism of the American private sector that is unmatched. But we're happy that so many American companies have found a home in Greece. You can go down the list: Applied Materials, AWS, Chubb, Cisco, Deloitte, Digital Reality, Google, JP Morgan, Meta, Microsoft, Pfizer, and so many more. US companies that have invested in Greece, made money, and supported the Greek economy. Now, this year's forum's focus on accelerating investments in sustainable growth reflects two pillars that are critical in the region and in the US approach to it. Greece is opening Southeastern Europe to a new investment in clean energy alternatives and driving greater regional energy cooperation for a cleaner, more reliable, and more affordable energy supply. And the US government is working to support this. For example, the US International Development Finance Corporation, DFC, is investing $125 million in the firm Onyx's efforts to rehabilitate the Elefsina shipyards, which will provide a major expansion in the Greek ship repair and maintenance sector at a time of particularly high demand, and in particular to support LNG vessels. US LNG vessels exports to Greece are increasing and helping to support Greece's energy security and diversification away from Russia. Indeed, the United States remains the largest source of LNG imports to Greece, And just last month, USAID signed an MOU with the government of Greece to improve energy security cooperations in the Western Balkans. This partnership, which comes as part of the larger US-Europe energy bridge, will advance collaboration between energy entities and authorities in Greece, Albania, Northern Macedonia, and Kosovo, and help integrate their electricity markets to create a connected and more secure region. But as I wrap up, I want to be very clear. I've talked a lot about policy, I've talked about economic opportunities, but ultimately, the partnership between our two countries is based on values and it's based on people. It's about values and people. And the Hellenic organizations are the connective tissue that bind our country together. It is exactly the kind of work that folks like all of you are doing, whether it's business or in community or religious organizations, that are building those bridges across parties, across generations, across oceans, and across borders. We're seeing those partnerships play out all across our two countries, and we're deeply grateful. Now, our two countries have enjoyed more than 200 years of friendship, and I'm confident that the actions that we're taking tonight to deepen the friendship and cooperation on our unshakable foundation of values and friendship will benefit our two countries for centuries to come. So I want to say thank you again to all of you for coming. Thank you again to Nick and Olya for organizing. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for all the work that you do, and sincere congratulations for your success and accomplishment. Many thanks.
I am a very proud Greek Cypriot American. And I will tell you, after listening right now to Mr. Joshua Huck, our Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, I am so proud of him for being so fully immersed and praising Greece and praising the Greeks and recognizing our friendship for 200 years. I am a patriot. I love this nation so much. And all of you, everybody, please, let's give him a round of applause for that recognition. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a big deal. And we just discussed in Cyprus, they just foiled a plan, an Iranian plan, to target Jewish targets. And he and I had that conversation. So a lot going on. We're very proud to have him in Washington. I hope you have a beautiful dinner, and the award ceremony will begin in a short time. Enjoy your dinner.
For the past 16 years, Nikos, Stathopoulos, and BC Partners have invested over 7 billion in Greece, 7 billion euros, not bad. In fact, they have been investing in a period where Greece, as I mentioned, was not considered as an attractive destination for investors. And judging by their results, they were right to do so at that time, and Nikos has reaped the benefits of his being one of the first and most enduring investors. For example, when they sold Pharmatime, a leading Greek pharmaceutical company, they realized capital gains of about $1 billion, I think. They had acquired the company for 475 million euros in 2015 and sold it to another global private market firm, the Partners Group, for $1.6 billion in 2021. Not bad. So today, BC Partners have a diversified investment portfolio in Greece, which includes, and Nicole, forgive us if we miss anything, PetCity, the leading pet care retailer in Greece, Wind and Nova, two telecom giants which have merged into one entity, and Metropolitan College and AKMI, the leading providers of post-secondary education in Greece. Now, how do I interpret this extensive presence? As a vote of confidence in Greece, as an investment destination, obviously. I know that Mr. Stathopoulos has been constantly referring to the significant investment opportunities that exist in Greece. But it's one thing to say something positive, it's a very different thing to put your money where your mouth is. And obviously, Nikos opened his wallet big time. The former necessitates merely a gesture of goodwill. The latter implies that you have done your calculations and that you expect to make significant gains, as we have heard. I would like, therefore, to take the opportunity to thank Nikos, Stathopoulos and BC Partners for their positive contribution to the Greek economy. And I'm sure that they will get the reward that they're expecting, with further high returns on their investment. This is probably more important than the nice words that I delivered today. Actually, what I'm delivering on behalf of Minister Hatzidakis. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a classical Greek phrase that says, along with Athena, move also your hand, which means God helps those who help themselves. International investors may not be gods, but they are absolutely essential for growth and prosperity. As I mentioned in my keynote speech during lunchtime, an amazing speech, by the way, insightful, passionate, detailed, you cannot have a prosperous economy without investments, and you cannot have investments without investors. This government, the Hatzidakis government, is fully aware of this stark reality. That is over why the past 4 years we have pursued a business-friendly economic policy. The aim of this policy was to heal the wounds created by the dramatic crisis that the country had gone through and to restore confidence in the prospects of the Greek economy. By pursuing prudent fiscal policy, by cutting taxes and reducing non-labor costs, by further improving the business environment and by modernizing the labor market. We have been rewarded by the Greek people with an emphatic electoral victory, an amazing one. We are determined to continue the successful policy mix by making sure that Greece is a good place to make investments, and we have set as a target to transform Greece into a modern European country. I'm happy that Mr. Stathopoulos and BC Partners are participating in this transformational journey, and I am sure that more passengers will embark in the near future. So, to the words of Minister Hatzidakis that I amplified a little bit, Nico, congratulations, well deserved, and thank you for being with us.
This is from all of us, and congratulations, and well deserved.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you, Nicholas, for your kind words and for amplifying what Minister Hatzidakis said earlier on. You're both very kind and very generous with this introduction. Also, I wanted to thank Nicole. I want to thank may I say Ambassador Nassika, and also Joshua for your kind words as well, and also for making this great evening a success. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it's a pleasure to be here today, and I mean it when I say I'm truly honored to receive this award from Capital Link, especially at its milestone 25th anniversary. Earlier today, as Nicola said, Minister Hatzidakis, and also actually as recently as a few minutes earlier, Ambassador Nassika mentioned the progress that Greece has made in the past 4 years and more in its economy and in attracting foreign direct investment. And it's impressive indeed, especially taking into account where Greece was just a few years ago. And we all know, and I won't repeat all the achievements that our country has made, but it has achieved indeed a remarkable turnaround, especially in the context of a global macro environment which has been characterized by high inflation as of recently, high interest rates, and with all the effects, the negative effects that it has had in our economy, but also these coupled with pandemics, with geopolitical unrest, and with wars. In that global context, and despite its troubled past, Greece has significant structural competitive advantages, which alongside the pro-growth policies of the current government, as it was correctly mentioned earlier, have manifested themselves in its impressive economic rebound in recent years and have set solid foundations for the future of our country. As I keep saying, none of this thing has been an accident. It does reflect the pro-business, pro-growth policies of the current government and its leadership. I have been investing in the country for a long time, and one thing I can assure you, and for those of us who have been observing Greece's trajectory on its ups and downs over the years, is a country like Greece, especially given its size, it needs foreign direct investment to grow and to continue to grow. And to attract it, it should continue to capitalize in its competitive advantages, which in my mind there are 4 of them. And I keep repeating them in every conference I go that has to do with Greece, and I will do so again today, because this is the only way, if we remind ourselves what makes this country different, to keep attracting foreign investors like ourselves. First of all, it is a European country that has a stable currency, has a stable government, and it has unique geopolitical location. Secondly, and equally importantly, it has a very highly skilled, highly entrepreneurial human capital, which, despite the wounds opened by the brain drain during the last decade, makes our country rich in people with much needed ideas, knowledge, skills, and above all, passion and ambition. 2 of my favorite words. Thirdly, it has a wealth of strong, small, and medium-sized enterprises and a growing community of startups that are led by exceptional founders and management teams. And this growing community has the potential to elevate the Greek private sector's productivity and innovation to international standards, fuel the growth of our economy in the years to come, and create regional and, if not, global champions. And lastly, it has growth potential that is higher than other countries, as it's coming out of more than 10 years of recession and is catching up with growth. So yes, the timing to invest in Greece continues to be attractive. And although I tend to say that we don't invest in countries, we invest in companies, investors cannot ignore the country's macro environment and its growth prospects. We at BC Partners, and me personally, I was mentioned earlier, have experienced firsthand the evolution of Greece as an investment destination, having been the longest standing foreign investors in Greece to date. I first invested in Greece in 2004. It was almost 20 years ago, almost as long as I've been joining your Capital Ring Forum with Nicole and Olga. And I introduced private equity as an alternative form of an investor in the country. Since then, as Nicole has mentioned in his kind introduction, we have invested almost 7 billion euros in the country, supporting leading Greek businesses in 6 different sectors, ranging from pharmaceuticals to telecoms to media to specialty retail, and as most recently to private education. We were the first global investment firm, to show our commitment to Greece, and we will continue doing so. And we hope that we can continue to play a positive role as a responsible investor, supporting leading companies and their management teams to grow to reach their full potential. During that 20-year period, Greece went through the global financial crisis, a Euro referendum, for those of us who remember, it seems like a very long time ago, a pandemic, geopolitical unrest and wars, and unfortunately, as of recently, even natural disasters. I remember in the first 15 years of that period, Greece was actually an investment destination only for the brave investors or for very opportunistic people. And I would like to consider myself to be the former. But our conviction about the competitive advantages of Greece was evident not only in our long investment track record, but more importantly, as it was mentioned earlier, in our confidence to invest in the country during its worst economic times. Nicholas and Minister Hatzidakis very kindly mentioned our investment in Pharmatech at the time, which we made in 2015 at the peak of the financial crisis and right in the middle of the country going through an EU referendum. What was crucial at the time of the decision was not what Greece is going through at that time, but it was taking more of a long-term perspective, which I have been encouraging all my fellow investors, friends, and other colleagues to take. You should look at this country in the long run, because everyone has shocks. Every country goes through difficult times. Our country certainly has had its fair share, but what the investments are becoming successful and investors will be rewarded when they look at long-term perspective. We were rewarded through this investment and given the return that was mentioned before. And I mentioned this investment for the reason as actually I was mentioning this afternoon at the panel that we made about investing in Greece. Investments like these help restore Greece's credibility, and they help restore its reputation as an attractive investment destination. When people are making money by investing in a country, they come back. And they become also an example for others who want to make money investing in that country. So we should continue making these case studies for our investment in the country. Now, consistent with the past, we continue to fundamentally believe in Greece's growth prospects. And then we did this by actually showcasing our commitment in a different way this time. A couple of years ago, aside from our global flagship fund, we raised a fund dedicated to investing in Greek small and medium-sized enterprises. Through this fund, we invested in Pet City, which is the leading pet food retailer in Greece, as well as to Metropolitan and Acme, the leading private educator. Greece has a wealth of SMEs. This is its biggest, really, source of wealth. It's been undermanaged, under-leveraged at the moment. It has great leadership. It's founded by great families and founders, very skilled people that maybe sometimes need a partner to help them grow. We have provided that partnership and we will continue to do so because there's a wealth of these companies in the country. In addition to this, and following actually the acquisition that we made of Nova and subsequently Wind last year in the telecoms and media sector, we announced a €2 billion investment in the development of a fiber optics network that will service almost 5 million Greek citizens and businesses. That's a long-term investment. It's a long-term investment that will offer fast broadband and at affordable prices to millions of Greek households and will accelerate the digital transformation of the country. Another very big area of growth for our homeland. Now, we're not, however, alone in investing in Greece, and the entire international community, and some of you are here tonight, have also given Greece a vote of confidence. But we should not forget that the relationship with the market is dynamic and it's ever evolving. The pro-investment climate is constantly being assessed against the performance of other competitive investment destinations, since investors, for better or worse, have choices where to invest. So in my mind, as I also mentioned last year at your conference, attracting foreign investment is a marathon and not a sprint. It should be a long-term goal and not a short-term gain. Greece has momentum and it should not lose it. And I think for this, it has one word in my mind and one word only, which is consistency. We have to be consistent. This country has to continue operating the policy that it has had, and if it continues doing so, it will continue to attract people. So in my mind, if Greece continues to grow at an attractive rate, if it maintains the trust and credibility it has been able to restore, if it implements the much required reforms and continues to create an investor and entrepreneurship-friendly environment, I have no doubt it will attract more foreign investors like us that will help Greece shape the bright future it so deserves. I would like to close with this. My vision and hope for Greece is to continue to inspire, as it did many, many, many decades ago, to grow and prosper and to be the benchmark of quality of life, which at the end of the day, it's all that matters. To do it, it needs us Greeks, especially those of us abroad, to continue to invest, but more importantly, to care, to use our passion, our energy, our grit, our empathy to help it reach its full potential. I'm grateful to share this award tonight with long-standing friends and colleagues who have the same vision, the same passion, and more importantly, the same love for our country. Thank you very much.
Dear friends, we had a wonderful day. Nico, thank you for your very eloquent words. We come to the end of a wonderful day. It's been quite a long day, but a wonderful one. So I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the ambassador, Joshua, 𝒍𝒂𝒂𝒕💂💏, Nicole. I'd like to thank all of you, obviously. I'd like to thank everybody who made the forum during the day a tremendous success. I'd like to wish again happy birthday to my wife and to 𝒍𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒃. And if you allow me, I would like to say a tremendous thanks to my sister Olga. After all, I'm just a brother. And also to my teammates, Hellenic, Marcella, Karen, Paul, everyone, Marcella, everyone who really worked tirelessly. Hellenic, you're back there. I know you don't want to be in the spotlight, but thank you guys. Without you, it wouldn't have happened. Thank you to everybody. Now, if you can remember, I look forward to seeing you on December 9, 2024. Thank you.